Hello and welcome to Just In My Opinion. Today I'm looking at The Legend of Bumbo, the prequel to Binding of Isaac, in a completely different style. Legend of Bumbo is a cardboard-themed roguelite puzzle game, which is more or less Candy Crush meets Rogue. Why does the prequel share nothing in common with Binding of Isaac, aside from shared monsters and themes? Well, surprisingly, there's actually a pretty solid explanation. I won't spoil it. Now, before I dive into the review, I have to say that I played this game on the day it came out. At that point in time, the game was riddled with bugs. There were some situations where the game soft-locked. In-between level screens had no sound, and there was a weird situation where an enemy seemed completely unkillable. Although that one's potentially on me. I dug through some Steam reviews as well, and I was not the only one that experienced this problem. I'm posting this video a day later, and there's already a patch that addresses some, but not all of the problems that I saw. I feel like I'm obligated to mention this, but I'm going to be ignoring these problems for the purpose of the review, because I genuinely expect them to be resolved within a week or two of me posting this. Alright, so that's that. The Legend of Bumbo focuses around a matching game that provides you with attacks and mana. You're also provided a set number of moves per turn, which can be increased by chance, can be increased by matching certain tiles, or through other things like skills and items collected along the way. The idea though, you want to make relevant matches on your board to deal with the random groups of enemies in front of you. Different tiles do different things. Some tiles provide attacks, some tiles provide defense, and there are other random effects that can block off some of your tiles. That's the general idea of the game. Go through random rooms, fight a random boss on each floor, and progress until you maybe beat the game. When you start the game, most floors are locked, and you'll have to progressively unlock them by first beating everything available to you. This will also unlock other incarnations of Bumbo that have different stats and starting abilities. The diversity in characters is interesting. However, there's one Bumbo that seems like it's strictly better than every other Bumbo. So once you get to the point of the best Bumbo, you'll probably only be using the other Bumbos to unlock the final Bumbo or to challenge yourself. Which is kind of unfortunate. While balance isn't the single most important thing in a single-player game, with things like Binding of Isaac, there were loads of characters. Sure, some characters were strictly better than other characters in Binding of Isaac, but the power gap in Legend of Bumbo is so much greater than anything I ever saw in Binding of Isaac. Anyways, you play through the game a bunch, you unlock a lot of things, and then you do it over and over until you don't want to anymore. That's sort of the general idea. Every run feels a little different, but when you're playing the best Bumbo, items you get and the stat rolls you acquire seem less relevant, so there isn't the degree of variance you typically expect in most roguelite games. However, if you play the not-so-great Bumbos, runs tend to have a lot more variance, which can create a more enjoyable and more challenging experience, if that's your sort of thing. All in all though, I feel like I made it through the vast majority of the content in a day. By the end of the first day, I had unlocked everything that wasn't the last character, and had a whole lot of plays under my belt. It's also worth mentioning that I probably could have unlocked the final character, but the penultimate character is just horrifically unfun to play, in my opinion, and I couldn't bother to grind out what I needed to do to get the final unlock. What does all of this mean? Well, Bumbo is a super fun game. The concept is relatively unique to me, and the artistic style is awesome. The game, for sure, has its issues, but the overall feeling I got when I played the game was that feeling you get when you just want to keep playing whatever you're playing and sort of forget what time it is. Sure, I raged a little when I got soft-locked, and some runs were more frustrating than others, but the overall experience I had with Legend of Bumbo was just pure enjoyment. So, if you're on the fence about the prequel to Binding of Isaac, give it a shot. Unless you can't stand being soft-locked, in which case wait a week or two, periodically check Steam reviews and patch notes, and pick it up when that's all been fixed. The point being, it's a great game. And don't forget, this is just in my opinion. If you feel like I left something out, disagree, or just want to tell me what I should review in the future, leave a comment. I also did my entire playthrough of Bumbo on Twitch, so if you want to watch me test games out live, check that out. I'm also running a Twitch-based giveaway, so check out the description if you want a shot at a Steam gift card. I plan on continuing this giveaway as long as I'm streaming on Twitch, so if you're here a month after this video released, the giveaway's probably still running. Anyways, that's it. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to subscribe and check out some of my other videos. I'll be back next week with more reviews. Yeah.